What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about my 2024 NFL predictions. This will include divisional standings, Super Bowl winner, playoffs, and some personal awards. With that, let's get started. And at first place in the NFC North, I'm going to have to go with the Detroit Lions, finishing with a record of 14-3. I think that the Lions will have a very good year this year. I think they're ready. They want their revenge for what happened last year. And I don't see Dan Campbell just letting this slide over and just pass over. I think since the NFC Championship game, he has been angry and waiting to get back at the Kansas City Chiefs. And at number 2 in the division, I have the 9-8 Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are an interesting team because we saw them do very well at the end of the season last year. But what I'm wondering is, can and will Jordan Love keep up the success that he had at the end of the year last year, where he was doing very good, but what I'm wondering if his confidence got shot down whenever he threw that interception to end the game. This will be an interesting thing to see. Next up in the NFC North, number 3, we have the 7-10 Vikings. I probably would have put them higher if J.J. McCarthy didn't get injured, because I think he would have been better to have rather than Sam Darnold. I don't think Sam Darnold will succeed too much, but I could also see him doing decent, leading them to this record where he doesn't need to be the best. Just get the ball to Justin Jefferson, and it's kind of easy without Kirk Cousins anymore. At number 4 in the division, I have the 6-11 Bears. Now, I think Caleb Williams is a great quarterback, but in the preseason, we've seen him miss passes, but we've also seen great flashes. I don't know what we'll see in the real regular season games, but it'll definitely be interesting to see how he does and how he can perform in real games with people coming at him and more on the line. Now, next up, we have the NFC East, where I have the Philadelphia Eagles finishing at 11-6. Now, I see this division being very tight, but I think the addition of Saquon Barkley will help them beat the Cowboys, who I also have going 11-6. But I think Philadelphia will have the tiebreaker over the Dallas Cowboys. I think that will come down to it, and they should be two teams that will be competing for this NFC East crown, and it could definitely come down to one of them makes playoffs and one of them doesn't. We'll see later in this video. Make sure you stick around for that. Next up, we have the Commanders going 5-12. Now, I've seen Jaden Daniels be great, but I've also seen him be okay. I've seen some mistakes that he wishes he could take back. I think we'll just take time for learning, and I think he is the starter. I do know that. I think he will have to just keep going in, keep correcting his mistakes, keep just studying film, and it will all come into place. And at last place in this division, I don't think this is any shock, the 3-14 Giants. I don't think I'm shocking anyone while saying that, but they're not a good team. Daniel Jones has looked terrible. He doesn't look confident. He should never have gotten that big contract, and maybe just Malik Neighbors could help him out, but it's going to be hard. And next up, we have the NFC South, where I have the Falcons going 12-5, winning this division. I think this will be another division where I could see the Falcons either doing really good or really bad, and I don't really think there's too much of a middle ground on that. I think it's you either do really good and succeed, or you don't do that good. Now, you obviously bring in Kirk Cousins. You get the new head coach, because last year the coach wasn't trying to help. He wasn't giving their star players the ball. He was mainly just using them as distractions, which I think now that will all go away, because he will know, get the ball to Kyle Pitts, get the ball to Bijan Robinson, get the ball to Drake London. And I think that will all just help him out. And with Kirk Cousins, he knows what to do. He's a proven quarterback, and hopefully he can come back healthy after that tear. Next up, we have the 10-7 Buccaneers. Now, the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield got a big contract. I think he'll play into that. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he deserved that. He kind of came back on a comeback type kind of year. Didn't come back from an injury, but just playing bad, getting benched. He found his footing, and now I think he's finally coming into it. He knows what he's doing. He still has Mike Evans, and I think he'll have another good year trying to make another playoff push. And I think that these are going to be the only two really good teams because I have the Saints going 5-12. I mean, there's just not that much there. Derek Carr is middle of the pack. Really not great, but he's not bad. He's not going to lead the Saints to... He's not going to have any MVP year, probably. And then I'll have the Panthers going 4-13. They kind of reloaded. They definitely have a better team than last year, but they're still the Panthers. They still don't have the good team. I think Bryce Young will take an improvement, and I think they'll keep him around for a while because he just does not have the weapons that he should have. But NFC West, I have the 13-4 49ers taking the division. I don't think there's much to be said here. I mean, even if they do lose Brandon Ayuk, which in the middle of recording, nothing has happened. And I don't know, because I could see him going a lot of ways. And this could go anywhere. I mean, they have enough star power where this should not matter, even if they do lose Brandon Ayuk. But it could matter. But I think Brock Purdy will have a good year. And these are the years that the 49ers have to make count when Brock Purdy is still on his rookie contract, making a minimum. Next up, we have the 10-7 Rams. Now, the Rams losing Aaron Donald, I know they're not the most flashy team, but I feel like they could do something. I really do, because you still have Matthew Stafford, who still plays good, Puka Nacua, and Cooper Kupp, all on offense. And then the defense is not terrible either, so I really think that they could do something here. And I think this could be a good year for the Rams, surprisingly, where I think a lot of people think after Aaron Donald left that they won't have the best year, but I could still see them doing good. And third place, I have the Cardinals going 8-9. I mean, Kyler Murray's coming back. He played good last year. But I could see this being the last couple of years of Kyler Murray's career in Arizona. And I don't know, maybe he should have went with baseball. We'll never know that. But, I mean, he is a good quarterback. He's fast, but there's always that risk with a mobile quarterback like him. It already happened once where he tore his ACL. You don't want that to happen again. But if you don't let him do the stuff that risks that, he's not going to be a good quarterback. So you're going to have to find that medium, which I think might be hard. Also coming in at 8-9. But in fourth place, I have the Seahawks. I mean, I feel like DK Metcalf could be a great wide receiver, but he doesn't put enough effort in where he needs to have that effort. He just doesn't. He gets into fights. He's pushing people. He just was swinging his helmet at people. That's just not what you want to see out of him. So, next up, we have the AFC North. And number one, we have the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I think this could be a very good team, and I think they will be. This will be a dangerous read option with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. But at the end of the day, I don't know how much we can put on him because we know he's not a playoff performer, Lamar Jackson. But with Derrick Henry, he doesn't have to be the best. He can just kind of hand the ball off. I think that's what they'll do here. Now, if someone wants to contain on Lamar Jackson, hand it off to Derrick Henry. It's that simple. And now, number two, I have the Bengals going 10-7. It's going to be a fight for this. It's going to be a fight for first. All of these four teams have a chance. This is the toughest division to predict by far. And I think that's kind of what makes it why the Ravens aren't going great is because these teams will beat up on each other time after time. The Browns go 9-8. The Steelers go 9-8. They all go over 500 again. Now, AFC East, I have the Jets going 11-6. I think Aaron Rodgers will be very good this year. If he can stay healthy, this Jets team has a good defense. They have Garrett Wilson, good offense. They reinforced their offensive line. And now all it's on is, can they perform right now? As a Bills fan, it hurts me to put them there. But at number 2, I have my Bills going 10-7, where it's a dogfight for the number 2 seed. It's kind of just the Dolphins and the Bills going at it. Who can get that second seed to try and get things into the playoffs? I think the Bills will. Josh Allen is the heart and soul of this team. If Josh Allen has a good game, they win. If Josh Allen has a bad game, they lose. It's that simple. This team will run by Josh Allen, and it runs. Josh Allen is the team. There's no any more. You lost Matt Milano for a little bit, but now it's Josh Allen, and Josh Allen is the leader of this team and no one else. He runs this team. Number 3, 9-8, the Dolphins. They're a fast team, but they get hurt easy. Look what happened at the end of last year. They easily could have got the 1 or 2 seed, but then they fell out of winning their division because of injuries. There are so many injuries last year. They're an injury-riddled team. I know Tua has had a healthy last year, but still what he went through in that one game was terrible for him. Even that one season, it was just terrible with the medical staff. But now it's going to be a big question mark is, can this team stay healthy? And that's a question. Patriots go 5-12, going in 4th place. I think a lot of people could see me doing that. I don't think it's a big shocker. It's Drake May. Let's see what he can do. We'll help him more in the draft next year and in the offseason. AFC South, I have some surprises. Texans go 12-5. This is where the surprise comes. The Titans go 9-8. Now, I believe in Will Levis a lot. I think he is going to be a great quarterback. He has so much arm talent. I mean, if he focused in this year, I think that they will do it. 7-10, I have the Jags. Not to mention the Titans did have one of the best off seasons. I think they had the best off season out of any team. They reinforced their line, which was terrible last year, which did not help Drake May at all, getting sacked time after time. But at 7-10, the Jags, they just lost Calvin Ridley. They bring in Gabe Davis, but I don't really think he'll help that much because I don't think he really fits the team that the Jags are. And 6-10, I have the Colts. I'm going to need to see a full good year out of Anthony Richardson, or just a decent year. I don't know enough about him to say anything about him at all. Next up, we have the AFC West, where we have the Chiefs going 11-6. And actually, at the time of recording, they just cut Kadarius Toney, so can't hurt him anymore. They have a good team. I will be honest, they do have a pretty good team this year. But they did lose L'Jarius Sneed, which I think will be a big loss. But they're still the Chiefs. They still have Patrick Mahomes. Number 2 in the AFC West, I have the Chargers, 9-8. New coach, new identity. Still have Justin Herbert, but you don't have any of his weapons. So they're telling him, figure it out. That's what the coach is supposed to do. Figure out how to win, how to try and make the playoffs. Raiders at 7-10. I think Antonio Pierce is the best guy they could have brought in. He wants this team to succeed. He knows the team. He loves that team. And he just wants to see them succeed. Number 4, I have the Broncos. I think the Broncos go 6-11. I actually do very much like Bo Nix. I think that it's actually a good thing that the Broncos got him instead of getting someone else. I think they could have traded down and got more value for him, but I'm still glad that they got him. And for some of my dark horse teams, the Broncos, the Titans, and the Rams. I kind of already explained them. So next up we have the AFC wildcard matchups. We have the Titans facing off against the Ravens. I think the Ravens win this game. Next up we have the Bengals facing off against the Jets, where I think the Jets will take this one. And now the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. At Kansas City, Josh Allen has been fed up for long enough, and he will win, moving the Bills onto the divisional round. Next up, for the NFC wildcard, I have the 49ers versus the Bucks. We have the 49ers winning this one. Rams, Falcons. A little bit of an upset here. I have the Rams. Cowboys versus Eagles. I'm going with the Eagles. AFC divisional round. Bills versus Texans. Josh Allen gets it done again, moving on to conference championship. Jets versus Ravens. I'm going with the Jets on this one. NFC divisional round. Rams versus Lions. Another upset from the Rams, giving the Rams this one. Eagles versus 49ers. I'm giving it to the 49ers. AFC championship game. Jets versus Bills. The Buffalo Bills are going to the Super Bowl against the 49ers, beating the Rams. Super Bowl, it will come down to the Bills versus 49ers. And sadly, the 49ers will win it with some personal awards. I have the MVP going to C.J. Stroud. Comeback Player of the Year, Aaron Rodgers. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Caleb Williams. Defense Rookie of the Year, Dallas Turner. Now, thank you for watching this video. If you made it to the end, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'm currently recording. I have 499 subscribers. So, maybe be my 500th subscriber. If I hit it by then, thank you all very much for subscribing. Have a great day. I'll see you in my next video.